Scarpins Avenue.
Coming to you live from our houses in Los Angeles, California, it's Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone, your comedy field guide to life. Tonight, kaboom! Ever feel like you've been shot out of a cannon? Tonight's guest has, over 5,000 times, circus performer Jon Weiss has made it his living being shot out of a cannon. Does Paula have... God damn it, Bonnie!
Yeah, what is that noise?
What?
Bonnie? Were you moving something? Were you flipping pages or something?
Okay, start again.
Yeah. Okay. I never saw that movie Groundhog Day, but I think I'm in it.
You really ought to watch it, Paul. It's a terrific movie. All right, here we go. Quiet on the set. And Bonnie, just don't do anything. Here we go. Coming to you live from our houses in Los Angeles, California, it's Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone, your comedy field guide to life. Tonight, kaboom! Ever feel like you've been shot out of a cannon? Tonight's guest has, over 5,000 times, circus performer Jon Weiss has made his living being shot out of a cannon. Does Paula have what it takes to be a human cannonball? We'll light a fuse to the question. Plus, we're opening up the mailbag, because even if the U.S. Postal Service is being cut off at the knees, we're still hearing from all the nobodies out there. Let our circus begin! I'm Adam Felber, the man who every week tries to keep our conversational cannonball on course into the net. And now, please welcome the woman who detonates topics like they're blasted from a conversational confetti cannon, Paula Poundstone.
Yay! So nice to hear you guys' voices again. Thank you, Adam, and thanks to tonight's house band, Nobody. Dustin Moburg is back on the euphonium. And I've got to say hello to Dustin's daughter, Millie. Hi, Millie.
Hi, Millie.
Hi, Millie.
Hi, Millie.
Do we know how old Millie is?
She's a couple months older than the last time we had Dustin on the show.
Oh, did we say hello to Millie before? See, now
Yes.
she's an addict. Now she's addicted. Now she probably
Now
doesn't
she expects
understand.
it.
Right,
Yeah.
on every show she watches or listens to, Dad, why didn't they stop and say hi to me? Adam,
Yeah, Paula?
I have some right-leaning neighbors.
Like Republican-leaning.
No, they lean to the right.
Oh, like physically
Just
leaning
don't-
to the right.
Yeah, the whole family, and I can't figure it out. No, they're very progressive, but they do lean to the right. And I can't figure it out. Is it like genetic, or is there something about their house? It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. My neighbors who've been building the house for 4 years.
I don't know them
And-
personally, but I know that they bring you cookies like on an annual basis to apologize for their misdeeds.
Yes, that's exactly right. And now this year, I think the whole neighborhood is just going to reject the cookies. They still don't live there. They're still now. There hasn't been any noise for a while. But when I throw the tennis ball for my dog, it sometimes I throw it wrong and it goes over the fence into those guys' yard. And I figured out the other day I figured out a way to like climb over and get in there, and there were like 10 tennis balls over there.
Really?
And only some of them were ours. Apparently, everyone throws tennis balls into their yard, which also leads me to believe that I might be being stalked by Roger Federer.
That's possible, but I would say doubtful. He's really accurate. He's a professional
accurate.
tennis
Yeah,
player, Paula.
Well, yeah, you're right. They would end up in my yard if that were... You're absolutely right. And plus, he's so busy. What am I thinking? He's busy. He's got the appliance store. Oh, that reminds me. Just for everybody does know, I keep forgetting to say this. We still have the 100th caller contest. We are continuing our 100th caller contest. So keep the calls coming, you guys. Our 100th caller will receive any appliance from Roger Federer's appliance store free, and this is the kicker, a chance to hang out with Adam after the game. So that's fantastic.
Pretty exciting. and at the same time, really not so exciting for me. I don't want to complain about the caliber of callers that we've had on this show, Paula, but a lot of them seem somewhat disturbed or a little bit unhinged even. So I'm not.
Well, you know what,
in
though?
love with the idea of this. Yes.
They all love you, and that's all you need to know. That's how Trump is with QAnon. He doesn't know anything about them except for he knows they love him.
Yeah, I don't love that comparison right there, Paula.
Well, not that our callers are anything like QAnon. Forgive me, Mike and Winnie and...
and everybody else.
And everybody else. And, well, Mrs. Culpepper never called. No, I love talking to Adam, but I don't have to call him on the phone. I'll just jump on right here.
Look, it's everybody's favorite antebellum hand puppet, Mrs. Culpepper. Welcome to the show, Mrs. Culpepper.
I love talking with you, Adam Felber. You're quite a talent, and I'm so proud to be with you on the Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone. But you do, Adam. You listen to Paula Poundstone, don't you?
Yes, I listen to Paula Poundstone. I find her to be enlightening a lot of the time, Mrs. Culpepper, and I love it when you come by too, because I know that you have a very busy schedule, and yet you always make time to stop by our show.
Well, I'm so happy to be here. Is it my imagination or my ears playing tricks on me, or did Bonnie Burns, Captain Crinkle, just blow her nose?
No, I think you're right. I think you're right, Mrs. Culpepper. I was trying to politely ignore it, but politely ignoring never really works with Bonnie Burns. So let's.
It is unfathomable to me that someone, a professional in the show business, would blow their nose in the microphone while we're talking.
Yeah, you know what, Ms. Culpepper, if you hang on, I'll check in with Bonnie Burns about that. Bonnie?
No, Mrs. Culpepper, I'm so honored to speak with you. I never have had a chance to do that before. I did not blow my nose. I have a new phone. Maybe the setting is too high. I did breathe deeply.
Bonnie Burns, forgive me.
Did you breathe deeply through your nose, Bonnie?
No,
into a tissue?
Did you breathe deeply through your nose into a Kleenex, Bonnie? That's called blowing your nose.
No, Mrs.
That's what blowing your nose is.
Mrs. Culpepper, I went like this. Did you hear that?
No, I did not. Forgive me if this falls into the category of solecism, but Bonnie Burns, bullshit.
I wouldn't lie to you, Mrs. Culpepper. I have too much respect.
It was distinctly. I have some years on you, Bonnie Burns, and I would say that I can recognize nose blowing when I hear it.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I heard what you did first.
Well, Mrs. Culpepper, obviously you've spent years around people who would blow their nose quite a bit. I know that for a fact, and I would say you're probably right.
I used to be a judge at the nose blowing competition at the local county fair, and I can recognize. I was part of training Ed Wynn many years ago, who was a top of the line nose blower. I'll recognize nose blowing when I hear it. Bonnie Burns, yeah. Captain Crinkle. Bonnie Schnoz Burns.
Schnoz Burns. Well, you know what, Ms. Culpepper, you bring up an important fact, which is that we haven't actually gone around the horn and asked for noises out of Bonnie Burns and Tony Anita Hull. Let's do that.
Oh, you don't need to ask from Bonnie Burns. She'll give you a noise whether you ask or not.
No, but I'm going to specify, and that'll be very helpful. Because I'm looking for the mouth.
She's always ready with a sound of some sort, isn't she?
She is. That's why we've affectionately nicknamed her Captain Crinkle. One of the two prominent captains. One of the two prominent captains on our show, and while I'm on the subject, please give our regards to your husband, the Captain Culpepper.
Captain Culpepper, I cannot give you regards much as I might like to because he is not with us any longer.
Oh, he's not?
No, he is not.
Do you mean he's passed on? Or are you guys getting a divorce?
Oh, no, I'm deeply in love with Captain Culpepper, although he did hide my bushel under a light, so to speak. No, hide my light under a bushel. No, the captain has passed on.
Oh, well, in the back of my mind, I feel like I've heard
your noise
that.
make a friend.
So there's only one surviving captain on the show, and there's little chance that she will perish in battle the way your husband did.
Oh, no, he did not perish in battle, Adam Felber. He passed from tyrotoxism.
Tyrotoxism? The poisoning by dairy products?
Or cheese.
Oh, yes.
Cheese or other dairy products. It was a cheese.
Wow. Well, that sure is tragic. Anyway, moving on.
It was the goat of the goddamn Adam Felber.
Devastatingly sad to hear that. All right, let's go around the horn. Bonnie Burns, make noise with your mouth instead of your nose and tell us what you're up to.
Okay, well, Mrs. Culpepper, I'm so sorry, but I'm dying to take a sip of coffee. I've been afraid to move. I don't know what's going on with my phone. But okay, here. See if you can.
I can tell you what's going on with your phone, which is that when you blow your nose, it picks up the sound.
Okay, see.
Good God.
I apologize. See if you can hear this, okay? Did you hear that?
It's clear that's not what you did earlier.
What was that,
was
Bonnie?
sipping coffee. I don't know what I did. What's that? I'm sure you heard that.
It wasn't that. It
Okay.
was your nose.
And even the okay. So I don't
there's
even
no shame in it.
No, I didn't do anything. Anyway, even the paper in the beginning, the paper's like probably 15 inches away from me. I make notes on the show while we're taping, and all I did was like flip my notebook over. How could it have made that much noise?
I suggest you not do that.
Okay.
And Bonnie, we're still no closer to the answer to the question, what's up, Bonnie?
I don't think I have anything. I mean, I realize I've been in this house with just very few excursions since the middle of March. And when I do go out, I'm just astounded. It's like another century or something out there. So I really don't have stuff to talk about.
Really?
I'm sorry.
Wait, Bonnie.
Yeah.
Bonnie, I have something to say to you that you might be able to relate to.
I'm a little afraid to hear this, but okay.
Do you hear it?
No. What'd you just do?
I was fanning the pages of a book at you.
Oh.
I thought
Paula,
maybe you just
it
had
takes years of practice to do stuff like that audibly.
Yeah, I was deliberately fanning the pages of a book, and you couldn't hear it at all. And yet you're insisting when you quietly flipped a page that it made that, nothing. It's good. It's all good.
Okay.
Captain
Well,
Crinkle.
here's what I could do. I have two things that I could say. So I'll pick one. This is really low. But Paula's book agent is a really smart person in Boston, and I consider one of my smarter friends. And
She's a smart person all over.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No, her IQ drops 50 points when she leaves the city limits of Boston.
Yeah, soon as she gets to Concord, she's an idiot.
So,
Jesus, don't even talk to her in New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I think I talked to her once in New Hampshire. I clearly remember what she said to me. She said, duh, I like pudding.
No.
Yeah, my God. I talked to her in North Carolina one time. Uh-huh. She just drooled.
Just drooled, huh? Yeah.
Just drooled, yeah.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
All right,
But in Boston, she is smart as a whip.
Oh, my gosh. She's one of the smartest in Boston.
Well, she really is smart, and no offense to Simi Valley, but since I moved out here, I really love the stimulation of talking to Colleen. I talk to her about politics, and we talk about literature. So anyway, we discovered that we had this one guilty pleasure, which is that we both watch Project Runway, which I think at one point I said to her, we can't tell Paula that we watch this stupid show because she's going to make endless fun of us. And
well, I want you to know that you've told me and everyone else, just so Colleen, who's very smart in Boston, but not so much outside of there, just so she knows, you've let the cat decidedly out of the bag.
You know what I heard about Colleen is that in order to enjoy a show as dumb as Project Runway, she has to take a bus to Providence.
Oh my God. She loves Project Runway in Providence. The weird thing about this story too is that Bonnie looks fine, right? She looks just fine.
Yeah.
But I in the last, I don't know, 5-10 years, I've never seen her in anything but jeans, sneakers, and a t-shirt.
That's the only outfit I've seen her in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this odd fascination with Project Runway just doesn't seem right to me.
Well,
yeah, it is a little perplexing because Bonnie, though a very good-looking woman, you are no fashion plate.
Okay, well, as I've explained to my daughter, I've managed Paula for like over 20 years, and in the old days,
that's been mentioned on this show.
Yes, I know it has. But in the old days, when I felt that an impression made a difference, I got the $2,000 and $3,000 Armani suits hanging in the closet. They just have dust all over the shoulders. Yeah, and I got, the Rolex watch, and I used to drive the Jag, the whole deal. I just don't care about any of that stuff anymore. So you're right. I got the jeans. I got the jeans and t-shirts.
But you're still Paula's manager.
Right, but you're watching Project Runway. How does that show that you don't care about that anymore?
No, for people that don't know Project Runway, they get a bunch of designers and they compete over the season to see who's the best designer. So forget about that. Anyway.
And it's one of those shows where people get thrown off, right? Isn't it?
They get voted off, right? And then they, have 3...
Yeah, and they cry? Isn't it one of those shows where they cry?
It's the kind of show you would hate and make fun of. Which is...
I do hate it.
Okay. So, anyway, it used to be hosted by...
And frankly, I'm leaving Colleen as an agent.
It used to be hosted by Heidi Klum, who was, fashion model, all of that. It went to Alyssa Milano, I think is her name. Very nice person, I'm sure. She doesn't have Heidi Klum's figure.
She's a cookie.
She's what?
Why are we just discussing Project Runway here, Bonnie?
I got to get to this. I'll get to the story faster. Anyway, the point is she was dressed very badly. So every week, I'm not proud of it, Colleen and I would get on the phone and we'd talk about how bad Alyssa Milano's outfits were and how could they have her hosting a show like Project Runway being dressed so poorly. She broke every rule. Like she was a little heavy and then she'd be like in clothes that were horizontal stripes. Okay, so...
Oh, Jesus!
What?
Oh, man! Oh.
Okay, cutting to the chase, which I know Adam will love.
Are there no prisons?
When the...
Horizontal stripes!
I said I didn't have anything good to share. Hold on a minute, I have to get
a bucket.
I said I didn't. Okay.
But you're proving it now, so go on, finish the story.
No, this is fantastic.
Okay, so... When the Republican convention came on...
couple weeks ago.
Right. Melania's outfits were so bad that I called Colleen and I said, as soon as she picked up the phone, I said, okay, I can't talk, I'm really busy, but I just have to talk to you about Melania's outfits. Because I was so desperate to do something out of this little womb that I've been staying in. So,
and Colleen said, just hold on, I've got to go to Framingham so I can give a shit about this.
Because, the first night...
Well, Colleen, by the way, is a dresser. Colleen likes clothes.
Colleen is very
she's an agent, and she has to represent people, and so she has to look her best. That's the kind of thing that agents and managers do. Oh...
No, in my case, I feel like Paula's so established, which I, had something to do with. I mean, it wouldn't have worked if she didn't have the talent.
Yes, you did.
I don't have to give a
Right,
fuck
of course.
anymore.
Yeah, no, that's
Impress people anymore.
I can't tell you how. I can't tell you how refreshing as a client it is to hear that your manager doesn't give a fuck anymore. That's just a breath
I
of
wish
fresh
my
air.
manager would have that kind of candor.
No.
'Cause that's really.
Okay, here's the deal. If we have an important meeting, I'll put an Armani jacket on over my T-shirt.
Yeah, when was that?
We had a meeting.
We had an important meeting? I don't recall
Yeah.
that. Nobody's having meetings anymore, and if they do, they're not wearing all their clothes anyways. Colleen, being a fancy dresser, but she's still not that bright outside of Boston. So, I saw her one time in Boulder, Colorado, and she had her head through her sleeve. So outside of Boston...
I hate to say it, Paula, but I met her here in Los Angeles, and she had her underwear on over her pants.
Oh, jeez. It's so funny that you say that. Years ago, okay, wait, who was the guy who ran as an independent? He was like a talking head on political shows. Years ago, he was a very nationalistic kind of a guy.
Pat Buchanan?
Yes, okay. Many, many years ago, I was on a show in Washington, D.C., like a local news show or something, and it was when Pat Buchanan was running. And his sister, Bae Buchanan, was his campaign manager. And so she was on this show like as a surrogate for him, and she was complaining about somebody, maybe it was Clinton, I think, that was in Los Angeles raising money. And she said, of Los Angeles, she said, raising money from people who, if they wear underwear at all, wear it on top of their clothes. And
what does that even mean?
Honestly, precisely. I've never seen anyone do that. B, if they did, they'd probably make a shitload of money. And C, what? Yeah. And Bae Buchanan, by the way, I used to be a big MASH, watcher. I guess I still am. And there was an episode where Gary Berghoff, who played Radar, there was an episode where he got a home movie and his mother was on the home movie reel. And it was Gary Berghoff in a wig and a dress, playing his own mother. And that was kind of Bae Buchanan to Pat Buchanan.
Oh, she looked like Pat Buchanan in a dress?
And a wig, but she wore underwear in the right place, as far as I know.
All right, well, I'm glad we took that little detour. Bonnie, does your story go anywhere beyond saying that you and the savant from Boston were talking about, were dissing the First Lady's outfits?
Boston. Savant in Boston. Keep that in mind.
Savant in Boston, outside of, yeah.
I think to come up with what we thought about the fuchsia dress with those little black poofy things and... here's the thing about that fuchsia dress, in case anybody's interested. I think...
I'm not sure anybody is.
I'm riveted.
That dress was designed by... And the fun of talking to Colleen is she knows designers, and despite my T-shirts, I really do too. So we were both like... I think the guy's John Woo or something. And we were both like, can you believe John Woo, designed that? And then... that dress, Michelle Obama had a dress designed by John Woo and looked fantastic in it. So we just thought maybe, Melania made John Woo attach those little black poofy things. She was just fun to talk to about, how cheesy Melania looked. I don't think Melania looks good in her clothes. She doesn't know how to dress for her body type.
Well, I don't want to... She doesn't know how to dress for her body?
No.
Type.
But I just
her
have
body
to say...
type.
No, wait. This is the final thing, which can only come from your smart agent, Colleen. Colleen goes, well, she favors yellow.
If Melania knows anything, and if she's listening, and I'm sure this is a guilty pleasure for her, the way Project Runway is for you and Colleen.
Right.
Melania,
she listens to it whenever she's outside of Boston.
Melania, for God's sakes, contact Bonnie, Captain Crinkle Burns, to understand how to dress for your body. It's the only way.
Oh my Lord!
You know, the converse about Colleen is also true, which is that she is so smart in Boston. I bumped into her one time in the state capitol in Boston, and she solved global warming.
Wow!
She's
just right
she's
there,
amazing.
just solved it.
Yeah, and then we took a oh, what was that noise?
My earplug fell out.
No.
Oh, for Christ's sakes!
Thank you, Captain Kirk. Yeah, that provides me with a great opportunity to move on from the Vale of Tears known as Simi Valley and move over to Studio City and our other producer, Tony and Nita Hull. For God's sakes, what's new?
God. I went to Temecula this weekend.
What the fuck is Temecula? What is it? It just sounds like a can full of consonants.
It's a city in Riverside County here in here in California. It's a wine country. It's and it's on your way to San Diego from Los Angeles. And it's very, it's Trumpsville down there. A lot of Trumpkins.
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah, a lot of Trumpkins. So,
gosh.
But it was a nice time. It was hot, though. It was 118 degrees.
Wow.
And what'd you do about that?
I just sweat.
I hope you were hydrating.
Jesus.
I was hydrating.
Thank goodness Colleen didn't go to Temecula that day. She would have been wearing a down jacket.
Now, Tony, I don't want to cast any aspersions, but this week you were in Temecula. Last week you were in San Clemente, famously the home of Richard Nixon. Are you sending us signals about where you might lean politically?
No fucking way.
Okay, because it sounds like you are.
Yeah, but Adam, do you know how she's spelling fucking? Fuquing.
All right, I'll buy that.
I'm very worried about Tony Anita Hull. I feel she's beginning to be a little right-leaning.
Now, what was the captain's politics, Mrs. Culpepper?
Oh, the captain. I'll tell you something about the captain, which is we were not always. The captain and I we were not in lockstep in our political views.
Oh, I see.
As I mentioned earlier, he kept my light under a bushel. But in fact, no, don't get me wrong. I miss the captain, but I am happy. I am happy to stand on my own with my own beliefs. That I would. There's something a little bit liberating about living in the absence of the captain.
Wow, I'm happy for you. That's I hate to think that the captain was hiding your light under a bushel, and I'm glad that you've managed to emerge into the light of day.
He was.
It's almost as though that cheese was in some ways providential for you.
Well, there was a beneficial quality to the cheese.
Now let me ask you, Mrs. Culpepper, who supplied that cheese that ultimately undid the captain?
It wasn't a buffet. It was a buffet.
Yeah, who set up the buffet? Was it you?
Costco.
All right, that's fine. And with that, Paula, do you have a word this week?
Oh my gosh! Oh, there was so much going on with the extensive travel of my coworkers that I almost forgot. I do have a word, Adam. It's hyperbolic. It's an adjective that means deliberately exaggerated. Here, I'll use it in a sentence.
Okay.
During a running race against my daughter when she was 2, I gave a hyperbolic moment-by-moment commentary of her winning the race. This word is going to make my vocabulary song the most popular song in music history. Just listen. Wait, I gotta get my glockenspiel. Oh, there we go. Here it is. This week's word is hyperbolic. It's an adjective that means deliberately exaggerated. This podcast is richly financially compensated. Last week's word was lugubrious. It's an adjective that means dismal and sad, like when ducks poop on everything you had. The week before that, we had pernicious. It's an adjective that means having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. I'm spending more time on the computer every day. Going back before that, we had impunity. It's a noun that means freedom from punishment or from the harmful results of an action. He fell off the roof and didn't end up in traction. And not long ago, we had phlegmatic. It's an adjective that means unemotional and calm. Oh, look, I just drove a nail through my palm. Let's never forget gallimaufry, which I pronounced wrong until nobody James Hyder corrected me. It's a noun that means confused jumble or medley of things. Hodgepodge, who's podge, hodgepodge. Adam doesn't think my song is replicable, but I do.
Yeah, Paula.
All right.
Bravo.
That was wonderful, Paula.
Standing O.
Oh, boy, that is some beautiful Glock. Rockin' the Glock, baby.
You give good Glock, Paula, no doubt about it.
Sometimes I get sick of hearing it.
Me too, Mrs. Culpepper, but I'm trying to stay polite. Anyway, coming up, George Carlin said, when he got loaded, the human cannonball knew there were not many men of his caliber. We have a real human cannonball loaded for conversation when we return on Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone. Well, look around you, everybody. It's a wireless world, and everybody, at least most people, need a great pair of wireless earbuds. But before you drop hundreds of dollars on a pair, like somebody like Tony Anita Hull has done, you might want to check out the wireless earbuds from Raycon. You already know Raycon earbuds start at about half the price of other premium wireless earbuds on the market, or at least everybody but Tony knows that, and that they sound just as amazing as other top audio brands.
I'm not sure that it is a wireless world. There's wires all over my room, and many of my friends are marionettes. Their newest model, the everyday E25 earbuds, are their best ones yet, with 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design that gives you a nice noise-isolating fit.
And Raycon's wireless earbuds, they're comfortable, and they're perfect for on-the-go listening and for taking phone calls. They have a microphone in there, too. I really like them because they're not sticking out of my ears. They're just in there. So if I'm exercising, they stay in nice and firm, and I get a good, solid bass sound for it. And again, if I'm listening to music, a phone call comes in, I can just tap the earbud and answer the call. I dig it.
Well, if no one calls you over a period of time, then Raycon will call.
That's right. They have what they call the mercy call. If you seem singularly unpopular, they will call.
Raycon, the lonely man's earbuds. That's another way of.
Ray J himself will call you.
Yeah. It's good to. Ray, is that you? Good talking to you.
They're stylish. They're discreet. You've heard me talk about how the company was co-founded by Ray J. I said that just seconds ago. And celebrities like Snoop Dogg and Cardi B, they're obsessed with the Raycon. So pick up a pair and see what the hype is all about.
Wow. Those guys use them? Snoop Dogg, Cardi B, Melissa Etheridge, Brandy,
to,
wow. Oh, my gosh. You know what? One time I bumped into Melissa Etheridge at Michael's. And I remember I tried to talk to her, and she didn't seem to hear me. And I realize now she had these earbuds in.
That could have been it.
Yeah. It's not just that she was ignoring me. That's not what it was.
No, it's probably Raycon earbuds.
Yeah. And one time I saw Cardi B on the street, and I was yelling like, Cardi B, I used your voice in a vocabulary song one time, and just walked right by me. And I realized that she wasn't snubbing me. That's ridiculous.
No.
She had these earbuds. Yeah. So I'm so glad I discovered this. Now's the time to get the latest and greatest from Raycon. Get 15% off your order at buyraycon.com/Paula.
That's buyraycon.com/Paula for 15% off Raycon wireless earbuds. Buy Raycon, RAYCON.com/Paula.
Cardi B, Cardi B, Cardi B.
Can't hear you.
On this day in unremarkable history, Newt Rockney said, "On the other hand, we could just plain lose."
And we're back. Thank you, house band Dustin Moburg.
Hey, thanks, Dustin. Sounds great. Adam, answer the phone.
What? Oh, God. Really? Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Hello, you're on Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone.
Hey, Adam, it's me, Mike Bobo Bonifant. Am I the 100th caller?
No, Mike, you're not. Good to have you on board.
Hey, man, what? I know you weren't talking about me when you said you didn't want to hang out with any of us, but I know you were talking about the other.
I was. You're the 90th caller, by the way, Mike.
Yeah. Well, man, I gotta keep trying just to rescue you from those other losers. Hey, Adam, I just want to call and ask, what happened to the word quotidian? I thought that was a great word. Get it, Adam? Quotidian? I thought that was a great word.
I know, Mike. You seem to like the word quotidian because you believe that that there's another word embedded in it.
Titty. Yes, titties in quotidian, man.
not even spelled that way, Michael.
Yeah,
but okay.
No, it is. If you do it right. But you know what? I gotta say, without that word, that song sucks. I don't know how you put up with. How do you work with that bitch? That's what I want to know.
Hey, Mike,
Yeah,
Mike.
Man,
Look.
without that word, without quotidian, that song is not even a good song. Look, I gotta go, Adam. I gotta call back because I really want to save you from, having to, we want to hang out after the game with Cher Eva for fuck's sakes. No, okay. All right, talk to you later,
Mike.
man. Good talking to you, Adam. Good talking,
Good talk.
quotidian.
Still works. All right. Well, and we're back. Paula,
Boy, he loves you.
Yeah, he sure does.
Yeah, he just loves you. You guys really have a lot in common. I hope he wins. I do. I mean, I'm not supposed to play favorites, but I hope he wins because I think it would be good for you guys to spend some time together.
I'm not sure about that. Now, Paula, performance venues are closed, and that makes things tough for people like, comedians.
Oh, you know what? It is not hyperbolic, Adam, to say it's a huge problem because that's how I made my living. So I'm looking for a new job. And the other day I thought maybe I could be a human cannonball.
Wow! Well, Paula, by outstanding coincidence, we have a professional human cannonball here who can tell you whether or not you have what it takes to make a living hurtling from the mouth of a cannon.
Oh, man.
Yes, it's time for Career Corner, where we learn about the wide world of jobs. Would you like to be a fireman? How about a train engineer? Maybe you'd like to make a living as a spot welder. What can you do with your life? Career Corner has the answer. This week, let's explore a career as a human cannonball. And here to help Paula discover if she could cut it in the stressful, high-stakes world of being shot out of a cannon is the man who did the cannonball act longer than anyone else in the history of Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. He's been shot out of a cannon over 5,500 times. Please welcome Jon Weiss.
Yay!
Oh, man, I feel like I'm back in action. I love this.
Jon, I'm so glad you're here. I cannot tell you for how long. I mean, now there's the thing where I might have to get another job. But even before that, I have wanted to be shot out of a cannon, like before I even knew there was such a job. How do I learn to become a human cannonball? How did you learn this?
Well, for years I was a clown on Ringling Bros Circus, right? And I used to watch the guy shoot out of the cannon. And I always thought it would be cool just to try that, And I heard one of the guys was petrified that was doing it. There was 2 human cannonballs being shot at one time out of the cannon. And the one guy hated it. He was always getting hurt. And then I heard he was leaving. And they were going to hire this trapeze artist. And I said, if they can hire him, they can hire me. I'm like the right size and everything. So I got a message to the producer, Kenneth Feld, and guess what? I got the chance to shoot out of a cannon, and it was scary my first time.
So the sum total of your training was you asked if you could get shot out of a cannon, and the guy who ran the circus just said, yeah.
No, it wasn't that easy. It wasn't that easy because I was a clown. I was 26 clowns in the clown alley, so I was one of 26. But all the act people, the performers that have done this for years and years and passed this tradition on to their families said, there's no way a clown is going to be able to do this. So all the clowns were like, yes, you can, Jon. We'll support you. So we started the process of being trained by a Pikush. He was Polish, and he was teaching me how to shoot out of a cannon. And I thought he was trying to kill me in the beginning, but but I was persistent. And then the first time I got shot out, you could see it in my eyes. I was petrified. My eyes were wide open. My back was killing me. My knees were killing me. I just knew that after that first time, I was going to be able to do it.
Now, wait a minute. Back up a little bit to this guy that was doing it but was terrified. I mean, how do you find a guy to be in your show that's terrified to do his job? Why was he doing it if he was terrified?
Paula, let me tell you something. They weren't petrified in the beginning. As the career went on, as they continued to shoot out of the cannon day after day, show after show, week after week, they were getting injured and they were getting more petrified the more they were doing it.
All right, so what about you, Jon? Have you gotten injured?
Well, I will tell you that, in the very beginning when I was being trained, they put, Pikush, the guy that was training me, put the cannon right against the net. And he didn't give me any room to react. But I knew that after that first cannon shot, because I reacted so well, that I was going to be able to do it. So then what you do is you put it higher and further back from the net until you get to distances of 150 feet or so. And then once you do...
So it starts a short shot. Is that what you're saying? You put it right near the net?
Well, you're not supposed to. I didn't train people that way. But that's how I was being trained in the beginning. I would never do that to someone else because the chances of you getting injured is really, really high. So, in retrospect, I was thinking maybe I was trying to injure me to discourage me from doing it. But
I see.
I had all the clowns cheering me on. We were all crazy. We were having a good time. And, at my expense, of course. But, I proved everyone wrong. I was able to complete it, take the act over, and then pursue it for another 15 years.
Wow.
So, now, did you lose your clown friends or were you still a clown at heart?
No. Okay. So this is the thing. This is good that you asked this because as a clown, it's obviously it's not a serious thing. But what I would do is I would clown the first half of the show. Then at intermission, I would take my clown makeup off and I was the human cannonball. Okay. Oh. So I did this for many years. And then one year the producer came up, Kenneth Feld, said, hey, why don't you do it as a clown, as a human cannonball? And I said, no, come on, I can't do that. It's a serious thing, He said, no, listen, try it. I'm telling you, it's going to be great. It's going to be the first time it's ever being done. We'll make the cannon as a big, clown prop. And, I said, okay, all right, I'll do it. As long as I can incorporate the safety part of what I need to do before I shoot out, I'm all for it. And that's what we did. For 2 years, I became the human cannonball, and it was awesome.
Did your big shoes ever get stuck in the net?
No, that's the thing. I couldn't wear the big shoes, so. But
oh well, then you're not a clown if you're not wearing the big shoe.
No, hey now, Paula, that's offensive.
Come on now, that is offensive.
Sorry, Jon. All right,
I have my clown nose.
So, Mr. Clownball, so if you were training me, what instructions would you give me about loading myself into the cannon?
Okay, so if you know what a unicycle looks like, and a unicycle seat is like a U? Okay.
I have one,
Picture yourself sitting on a unicycle seat, okay? Right. And standing at the same time. So you're standing and sitting on the unicycle seat, and the distance between the floor and the seat has to be perfect. Your legs have to be locked in place. You're going to bring your elbows together in front of you with your fists together.
Yeah.
You're going to look up towards the sky and lock your neck. Oh. And then during the process of being shot out, I will tell you certain things to do. The countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, is not for the audience. It's for me.
Oh,
during
really?
that countdown, yeah, absolutely. During that countdown, I'm doing certain things within my body. So 5, I'm adjusting my legs.
I'd be doing certain things within my body during that countdown.
And I'll tell you why.
Do you have to clean your own cannon, or does somebody else do that?
Well,
All right. Tell us what you're doing with your body.
Okay.
5.
Yeah,
what are
so
you
you got the countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. At 5, you're adjusting your legs, right? You're locking them in place. 4, you're tightening your buttocks. You got your legs and your buttocks all at one muscle. 3, you bring your elbows together in front of you with your fists together, your wrists together, right? And your fists are closed like you're punching somebody, okay? 2, you're gonna hold your breath, take a deep breath, hold your breath at 2. 1, you want to close your eyes and keep it every muscle in your body tight as a rock, and then fire. So by the time you fire out of the cannon, it's less than a blink. It's about 12 to 15 G-forces within a blink. So within that time, your eyes are shut, right? So in pictures, my eyes are open right away as soon as I come out of the cannon, just by the technique and what I'm doing. But I do not know where I'm at until I'm like 25 feet away from the cannon.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
Now,
it's true,
what happens if you don't do that? If you don't tighten up everything?
If you don't do that, okay, if you don't tighten your legs and everything, your knees buckle, they bang on the inside of the cannon, okay? It's a cylinder that you're standing in, okay? And your knees buckle, your chin can hit the front of the capsule, so you're coming out and you're wobbly. You don't know what the hell's going on. It's like somebody like smacked you in the head. So you're flapping your arms and your legs, trying to figure out where you're at. And then if you don't close your eyes, by the time you shoot out, your eyes are closed, and by the time you open them, you're halfway to the net.
Oh, I see, because the force closes your eyes anyway.
Absolutely. So it's extremely dangerous. So
describe again, when you're inside the cannon, are you actually on? You were talking about this unicycle. Are you on something? I mean, are your legs around something like a unicycle?
Okay, if you were to take a pen cap from a pen and take the pen as the cylinder of the cannon, and you lay it on top of the pen and you pull that pen cap backwards with the opening facing forward towards the point, that's the capsule you're standing in. It's about 6 feet long, and it's probably about shoulder width. So maybe it's 60 inches wide.
So what are you standing on? Is it tapered or something?
I'm standing on a platform that's a little bit tapered on the heels to give you a little lift, and it gives you a little more rotation. You can do flat, okay? Now, in the middle of that cylinder is a steel, like, say, oh man, how do I explain it? It's like a divider in the middle of the cylinder where the unicycle seat is attached, and your legs are on either side of them, and you're basically not standing with you're standing with your legs almost not pigeon toes, but out more like a duck walk. You know what I mean?
So the force is coming both at your feet and at your butt.
You're taking the force within your legs and your buttocks, yes.
Huh.
And that's the important. Like I didn't realize this stuff until trial and error, but I wore knee pads and back braces when I was training. But because of the year that I did the second year of the tour. It's usually a 2-year tour, and I had to figure everything out mechanically and had heights, distances, all these different things within this time. But when I did it for the year I did it, a year and a half, there was no safety. There was no safety. So if you climbed in and the thing went off, you were getting cut in half. That's it, you're dead. You know what I mean? So it was
what did they add in that made it safe?
I did that. So I took it over the following year after I did it. So they hired me to take the act over and train other people and do it. So the first thing I did was I took about 2 weeks to figure out a manual safety that could be done while you're climbing in the cannon. It could be in place. It's a steel rod that went through the track and went through behind the capsule of the cannon.
To make sure that it didn't go off when you weren't ready. Is that what you mean?
Right, when you were climbing in. Once you're in place, then I would get in, and then I put my wife at the controls of the cannon.
Oh. Okay, so Jon, what is the explosive? What's making the cannon fire?
Well, there's hydraulics. Of course, you have sound effects for different things, but it's hydraulics and some other things that it's a trade secret that we don't talk about. It's just it's like a magician. A magician's not gonna. There's no magic here. I mean, I'm propelling my body across an arena, and there's no wires. It's live entertainment.
Yeah, but it's not gunpowder.
No, man, no. It's a serious amount of hydraulics in there. I mean, it's an incredible amount of force. But me, I was doing line drives. I was flying underneath the rigging, which at some points was only 40 feet high and trimmed at 36. So I was probably flying a distance of 150 or 60 feet within 3 or 4 seconds and I was only flying like, they say 30 feet high, you know, because my legs have to come over. And as I'm flying, my legs are coming over my body and I'm landing on my back. So that whole thing, I mean, but I got used to it. And so over time, I liked the strength of it and the force of it and the line drive. So that's how I eventually was able to do it. But, you know, it's like, you know, getting on stage and doing comedy. It looks easy because you're good at it and it's effortless for you, you know, and you can roll and improvise. And, you know, with live entertainment, it's the same thing. You know, these people are so well trained. And believe me, I'm a kid from Long Island. You know, I was never in the circus. My family was never in the circus. I remember going in and sitting in the nosebleeds in the garden and sharing a popcorn. You know what I mean?
Me too. Where in Long Island are you from, Mike? John, I'm sorry.
Mike, Jeff, Ralph. No, I'm originally from Suffolk County. So I'm out. My wife grew up in the heart of Long Island, which is Center H. I grew up in Selden. We had a house in Port Jefferson for a while. We met in high school. I ran away to the circus, became a circus clown, went to clown college. Then she joined that year in '82, trained to become a dancer, audition. The choreographer said, go home, girl, and take lessons. Go down, ballet, tap, and jazz. She continued to stay on the road. The dancers, the showgirls, helped her, trained her. The following year, she became a showgirl. So we were clown and showgirl. Yeah, clown and showgirl. And then we loved it so much. The producer at the time was Irvin Feld, was Kenneth Feld's father. He saved the circus from John Ringling and North, and he created Clown College back in '69. So
wow.
So what happened was he loved us. He said, when you guys ready to get married, I'll give you a circus wedding. We're like, you know, we're only, 2 years dating. No, we're not ready yet, but we'll let you know. He passes away in '84. '86, we decided we wanted to get married. His son says, we said, we want to take a day off to get married in Long Island when our circus family and our family are together. And you never take a show off. That's the way it was. And he said, never. And he said, why don't we have a circus wedding? My father wanted to give you a circus wedding. So, of course, I said yes without consulting with Laura, my wife now, and said yes. And he said, we'll have, the ring bearer will be a bear, the bridesmaid will be elephants. You arrive in a clown car and you ride off with an elephant. We'll do this. Serious, it's true. And we'll do this in the center ring of Madison Square Garden during the show. And you'll have both your families there. And, of course, I yesed them to death. Told Laura she thought it was crazy. And they designed costumes for myself and my wife. And we had a beautiful wedding in 1986 in the middle of Madison Square Garden, and we're still married with 3 kids.
Oh,
that's
wow.
fantastic.
That's a great story.
No. Yeah, and it's crazy. It's just, it sounds like you're making it up. But, we had all 3 kids on the road. We did all the prenatal care. We had carried on records. And, we just loved it.
When your wife gave birth, did she do it from up high and then the baby dropped into a bucket with very little water in it? Yeah, we'll have a circus birth. You're going to love it.
Oh, my God. Hell no. Hell no. My wife, no. No, she was brave. She did all the prenatal care. She didn't do that, but she did have the 2 boys in New York and Long Island. And then my daughter was born in Sarasota, Florida while we were in clown college. I was one of the directors down there, yeah.
Victor Hugo said, the last resort of a king, the cannonball. The last resort of the people, the paving stone. We'll find out what's the last resort of the people who are cannonballs when we come back. The cat of the week is Bob from Yorktown, Virginia.
A few weeks back, I became a Thrive Market member. And keep in mind, most markets won't have me. They're delivering organic and sustainable groceries right to my door. I've gotten, I love dried cranberries. I don't know if I've ever talked to you guys about this before, but I do. I love dried cranberries. I use them in my salads. And, I put it with spinach, fresh spinach and a dried cranberry. And they have Thrive organic dried cranberries. They're bursting with sweet tart flavor and are chock full of disease-fighting antioxidants. And you haven't seen me in a while, but let me tell you, I haven't had a disease. I look good.
Wow. Well,
yeah.
that food that sounds absolutely repulsive to me, but that's the beauty of Thrive Market, because they kind of have something for everyone. And once you try it, you'll love it as much as I do. Here's why. As a proud Thrive Market member, I get all the products I love, can choose not to get dried cranberries and spinach, and my paid membership provides a free one for someone in need, like a low-income family, a teacher, a veteran, or a first responder.
Thrive Market tailors to over 70 different diets and values like paleo, keto, or plant-based, or just people that go out and grab a cow and start chewing, delivering the highest quality organic and sustainable essentials from groceries, healthy snacks, meat and seafood, clean wines, non-toxic cleaning, and bath and body.
Now, as members, me and Paula are saving 25 to 50% off traditional retail prices, and their carbon-neutral shipping is free on orders over $49. The savings we get on our favorite clean, organic products are amazing, but we also feel good about helping to support communities in need. In addition to membership matching, Thrive Market has raised over $750,000 to date through their COVID-19 relief fund.
I love that. Go to thrivemarket.com/Paula. Join today and you'll get a free gift of your choosing up to $22 in value.
That's Thrive, Thrive, market.com. That's COM/Paula. That's PAULA. Thrivemarket.com/Paula to start your risk-free membership and get a free gift today. Thrivemarket.com/Paula.
Keep in mind, eventually the virus we'll have it under control and we'll be going out to nightclubs again. And you're going to stand in line waiting to get into some nightclub. And if you can flash the security guy a Thrive Market card, you're going right to the front of the line.
Passport to the stars. And we're back with human cannonball Jon Weiss. Jon, this is really fun because you interview like you're being shot out of a cannon.
Oh man, I got so much built up energy from COVID, it's killing me.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to clown college when I was young. I never did. I was baffled by the application, though.
Yeah,
what was wrong with the application?
First of all, the spaces, like I couldn't even figure out, do you write the answers on the application? Or because some of the spaces, like there would be a space, like a line, right, where you might write an answer, but then another one was in a box, and and there wasn't nearly enough space to answer such a question. In fact, we talked to Bill Irwin about this on an episode.
That's right.
I love Bill Irwin.
Me too. He was a guest. He was a guest on our podcast one time. But the questions were, the one that I remember specifically was, when was the last time you cried and why?
That's true. That is one question. Yeah.
And yeah. What would be then, Jon, a favorable answer to that? What kind of answer were they looking for? I said, when I tried to answer this question, was my answer, was just a second ago, because I don't understand the question.
Seems like a good answer to me, Jon.
Yeah.
You know what? I will tell you that filling out the questionnaire, all that stuff. Now, this is the interesting thing. I did amateur clowning in Long Island at a team disco called Bugsy Malone's Speakeasy. And it was a team disco, and I started DJing, and I could balance anything. As long as I could pick it up, I can balance it, ever since I was 12. Wow. Huh. So I was balancing stuff, and the guy said, we have parties on the weekends. Here's a bag of clown stuff. Why don't you entertain them? I'll give you $50. $50 in 79 and 80 was a lot of money. I was like, yeah, of course I'll do that. So I looked like Kiss. My makeup was slimy. I had plastic shoes, rainbow wig. And from that point on, I started clowning. So my mother worked for a travel agency, and our boss was definitely afraid of clowns. I said, please, don't have Jon come in here and make us, right? We applied. And my mother said, no, Jon, you can't. And of course, as a clown, the first thing you want to do is go in there, So, and I didn't know any better at the time. So what happened was I auditioned for Clown College in Nassau Coliseum out of makeup, petrified. So I did the slaps and falls. I fell off a chair, bruised my back, and I said, oh, this is it, because I was reserved. And they called me back for the audition in Madison Square Garden as Slinky the Disco Clown. That's what I was called. So I went in as a disco clown. I had a huge boom box. I used jam, and I started balancing stuff and had everybody like entertained and dancing. and doing this stupid clown stuff that was not even relative to the circus. Well, I got an acceptance to go to clown college. It was tuition free, but you needed $1,500 for the room and board and food. So I tell my mother.
And you're talking about clown food, right? So
yeah, that's
a lot
expensive,
It's a lot of hammered beans and that sort of thing. Yeah, okay.
It's very amusing. It's amusing food.
It's good for the gas. Good for the gas. So I told my mother, we had no money, man. My mother was divorced. My wife, my girlfriend at the time, her family was divorced. We didn't have the money. And my mother was like, how could you miss this opportunity? So she was talking to somebody on the phone in her office, and her boss heard her. And the next day on her desk was a check for $1,500 for me to go to clown college from the guy who was definitely afraid of clowns.
That's a really beautiful story.
That's a true story, man. And
that's so lovely.
Right, but it doesn't come close to answering Paula's question. But it's an amazing
but wait, back
story.
up, John.
What was the question again? I get out of the phone.
John, do you know why he gave your mom that $1,500 so that he could make sure that you were in Sarasota and nowhere near him?
Absolutely.
No, the question, John, was what answer would be viewed positively by the clown college to the question, when was the last time you cried and why?
What's the right answer?
Well, I don't know if there is a right answer. I think that if you were looking at the application, if I was an instructor looking at the application and you said the last time you cried, it would depend. I mean, did you cry because of a household issue because it was bad at home? Well, do you want that emotional person on the road dealing with other people? I don't know if you do. I mean, that may be the case. Or did you cry? Did you cry during an episode of Oprah? You know what I mean? Who knows what it is? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think
that's
it's all
easily
relative.
solved. Just don't let anybody watch Oprah in the circus. That's easy.
I mean, the backstory. Yeah. But the backstories, the backstories is what you're looking for anyway. I mean, but look. As a clown, your job is to acknowledge everybody in the audience, all right? Grandparents, kids, doesn't make a difference, children of all ages. And I don't say, I mean it by it, because when you went out there, what I taught other clowns was like, if you see a grandparent or a parent holding a kid screaming and kicking so you can say hello to that kid, you ignore that situation. And you go around that situation, you acknowledge everybody around the situation. That gives that kid an ability to process the situation and say, oh, this may be okay. You know what I mean? That's why people are frightened of clowns for their whole life, because of situations like that. So it's a skill. To become a clown is a skill. Anybody could put the makeup on. You could put my makeup on you, but it's not me. You're just enhancing the features of your face. And you got to bring the spirit of who you are through your clowning. I mean, that makes a real clown, because people think
I love clowns, by the way.
I mean, it's a hard job. I mean, you have to be committed to it 100% from the time you step, through the curtain, just like a comedian. As soon as you step through the curtain and until you get behind the curtain, there was many times we're all sick, we're injured. It doesn't make a difference. When you get out there, your adrenaline's pumping and you just want to entertain. And there's nothing like live entertainment. So when I had a chance to shoot out of a cannon, I was like, wow, man, I could be like a super Marvel or somebody like that for the kids, set an example for them, to do the right things, to take safety. And safety is the most important thing. If it's not right, don't do it. You can do it tomorrow.
I love the idea that you thought that getting yourself shot out of a cannon would show kids the right way to do things.
Yeah, well,
You must be an amazing parent.
Yeah. So, John, you were a clown, and then you did clowning and were shot out of the cannon. Did you get an increased salary for that? Now you're doing 2 jobs?
Well, you know what? It's funny because my first year I doubled my salary, so I thought I was making tons of money. And in retrospect, I knew I wasn't. They took advantage of me, but that's okay. I got them in the end because
You doubled your salary as a clown in the first year?
Well, yeah, because basically what they said to me was, okay, here's your salary as a clown. We're going to just double that and you do the cannon as well. And
how did you figure out that wasn't the going rate? I mean, it's not like there's a lot of other human cannonballs that you can call to find out what they're getting paid.
Nobody's going to tell you what they're getting paid, man. Nobody. But all I knew was there's an opportunity as an apprentice. So if I worked hard and I got the chance to learn this, maybe I can be, in charge one day. And that's what happened. So I mean,
it's a Toby Tyler story.
Yeah, I know. I took a chance. You know what I mean? I thought I was, woo, making money. I didn't realize that was a sucker. But I got the opportunity to learn a craft that I didn't know. And in most of these crafts are passed down generation to generation. They're not going to give away their secrets because they wanted to stay within their families.
Yeah,
and so I was fortunate enough to learn it, help out other people, do it safely, and move on, and walk away from it and be able to tell this story. So.
And it was, let's face it, it was a chance for you to tighten your buttocks.
Absolutely.
Not too bad at 58.
How gleeful. I was just thinking how gleeful the guy must have been that got to negotiate the deal with the clown. You know? How happy they were after they'd been hung out to dry by the trapeze artist. The next guy in their office is the clown. They're like, yeah, I'll make this deal with the clown. That's fine. Now, let me ask you something. Okay, was there a part of your career where was there ever a time when the only participation you had in the show was being shot out of the cannon and not clowning that day, just being shot out of the cannon?
Never.
Oh, okay.
Look, if I was shooting out of the cannon, I was doing something else. I was either the performance director, stage manager, operations. I always did everything. I was in charge of all the trailers, parking them, making sure everyone's taken care of, so they can, the families can get rested, including my own. So and I used to do the balancing act in the show.
The balancing act too?
Yeah, I used to balance a running chainsaw on my chin, 12-foot ladders, 16-foot ladders, tables, chairs, shopping carts.
Wow.
And all that balancing I still do too.
Let me ask you something, Jon, and you can tell me secretly after the show if you want. Did you ever juggle your kids?
Actually, I did. I put my kid in I did. I'm glad you asked, Paula. You have the best questions out of anybody, Paula. So basically, I put my kid in a director's chair and I balanced him on my chin.
Oh, that's great.
And I used to have my kids climb up and down the cannon when I was cleaning it and getting ready for the next show. So they used to climb all over the cannon. I put my wife in the cannon once just to go in the cannon, and my wife said, no, I'm done. But I used to put people just in the capsule, raise it up, and they would be frightened without even being cocked back.
It sounds really frightening to me.
People try to say, oh, it's like skydiving. My brother was skydiving at the time. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's easy. He said, no, it's not like skydiving, man. You're free falling, dude. You're coming out of an airplane, it's awesome. It's an experience that you really can't explain unless you do it. I get it. But shooting out of a cannon, you got to figure you're taking your body from point A to point Z in seconds. And it's being forced on your body like, if you were to park your car in the middle of the 405, say, or the 210, freeway in California, and just park it there and let somebody come from behind doing about 65 miles an hour, and your whole body is tense and tightened up. That's what it feels like. It's that much force. It's that dangerous.
Is it fun?
When it's fun, it's fun. When it's not fun, it's horrible. It's petrifying.
Well, no, I have a question, Jon.
And there's many a times where I was petrified.
Well, you've certainly talked me out of parking my car on the 405, for one thing, which was something I was toying with. All right, but here's a question. I saw a piece on the NewsHour the other night, a really wonderful piece about a brass band that was from St. Louis. And they go around to different neighborhoods in St. Louis and do a marching band thing just down the street. And people come outside to watch. And they're just doing it to cheer people up. That's all. So I'm thinking now while you're talking, Jon, that I can use the skills that I've learned from you now to drag a cannon through my neighborhood and shoot myself out of a cannon in front of different neighbors' houses.
I want to be the first one. I want to shoot you out of a cannon. I'll stuff you in it.
God.
You only get to do it once, Paula, because you're going to get hurt. But it's okay.
I want to get to that in a second, but I do have to say, during these COVID times, I can't think of anything more dangerous than a brass band. I mean, it's like you're shooting virus out of a cannon. Right through the bell of that trumpet.
No, they're walking in the center of the street, and people are in there. I mean, they're not coming over.
No, but Paula, think about a trumpet. That is like a COVID cannon.
No, yes. They are not. The people that are listening and being lifted up by this experience are not sucking the bell of the trumpet.
I agree. I concur.
And they're wearing their... No. It sounds like a joyful, joyous thing. And that's
all right.
what so John and I are going to create with our new Canon Act.
Now, John, you did touch on something right now. That is kind of like the last question that we have to ask, because it's the money question. Could Paula now become a human cannonball? Or would she just hurt herself?
You want my honest answer?
Yes, John.
Yeah, I do.
I would love to shoot you out of a cannon, but you get hurt. I wouldn't advise you.
I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter, John. It's for the
Let's
kids.
do it. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to my morals and values. Forget about morals and values and stuff are in there.
John, let's do it while I still have insurance, for heaven's sakes.
Let's grease her up and get her shot out.
All right.
I can't wait.
All right, well, thanks so much, Jon Weiss. Now, Paula, given all that, given what you've learned about being a human cannonball, could you do that job?
Well, I tell you what, Dustin Moburg, see if you can keep up with me. You're in a rut, squeeze your butt, and you could go flying. You could get hurt or tear your shirt, but it's worth trying. Use your hips, pucker your lips, gold diggers will find you. Don't be Steve Bannon, get in that cannon and cut the ties that bind you. Entertain your neighbors, lift them from their labors. You really have it all when you're a human cannonball. Yeah, I think I could do it, Adam.
Yeah, I do too. He's been shot out of a cannon more than 5,500 times. Thank you, Jon Weiss, for helping Paula learn how to go airborne.
My pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me on the air.
Thanks, John. You were wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
John. That was awesome.
Pleasure, guys. Thank you, man. Bye.
Coming up, our mailbag is bulging, and it's not with mail-in ballots. It's with messages from nobodies out there in America and beyond. We'll hear from all of you. That's when we return.
Drinking enough water is critical for a healthy lifestyle. It increases your brain power, I love that, and boosts your productivity. I love that. It prevents headaches and increases your focus. It improves your skin and mood. I don't want to talk about it. It helps your digestion and gives you energy. It prevents bad breath, and can even help you lose weight.
But how much water should you drink each day? 10 cups? A gallon? What's the difference between 10 cups and a gallon? The good news is it doesn't have to be so complicated. Hydrant helps you hydrate faster.
Hydrant has created a refreshing electrolyte powder that you mix directly into water to more efficiently and effectively hydrate your body. It hydrates you quickly and keeps you going for longer. Each rapid hydration mix has the 4 essential electrolytes your body needs: sodium, potassium, magnesium, and zinc. I knew that. And it packs a punch to help your body hydrate fast and stay hydrated.
And Hydrant is backed by research. The formula was developed by an Oxford scientist, which explains its English accent. It's made with real fruit juice powder. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and comes in a variety of flavors, including new keto-friendly lemonade and pink grapefruit with no added sugar, only 2 grams of carbs. Paula, have you been drinking this stuff?
I have. You know what? I don't even know what flavor I had. It was a pink one. It was like a fruity one. It was delicious, and I felt good, and it was refreshing.
I agree. I like the lime, too. And, you know, as I've told you, Paula, I am partial to sports drinks and whatnot. I really do feel like with the right amount of electrolytes, you can really replenish your precious bodily fluids really quick. And I have to say that the Hydrant beverage has rocketed up to the top of my list on those. I really do feel refreshed after I drink them.
I know what I had. I had the blood orange. It was very good. It was tasty, and same as you, I felt refreshed and energized. Hydrant just introduced its new immunity line, available in either lemon ginger, or hot apple cider. Now we're talking, baby. 1,000 plus milligrams of vitamin C, plus B6, B12, and D. I'm very familiar with D from my report cards. Essential vitamins, minerals, and electrolytes with ginger and zinc. Strengthen your routine no matter what the season. It's total immune support.
Plus, it's backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you don't love it, send it back for a full refund. You really need to try this for yourself to see what I'm talking about. It tastes incredible and it works. And Hydrant, if you're listening, I've made it all the way through my sample bag. So if you wanted to send another one this way, feel free. Hydrant starts at just $1 a packet for a 30-day supply. Save even more with a monthly subscription, which it looks like I'll have to do. We've got a special deal for our listeners to save 25% off your first order. Go to drinkhydrant.com/Paula or enter our promo code Paula at checkout. That's drinkhydrant.com/Paula and enter promo code Paula for 25% off your first order.
The Koi Pond is the hit podcast from the hilarious mind of comedian Joe Coy. Every week, Joe brings his infectious and explosive comedic energy from the stage to the recording studio.
Along with his co-host Dre Simmons, Joe talks about every topic under the sun. Family, stand-up, sports, and whatever crazy things are going on in his life. Conversations can be wild, silly, and uproarious, but Joe and Dre aren't afraid to dive deeper either.
Joe brings on guests from across the world of entertainment, including musicians and UFC fighters, as well as comedians like Gabriel Iglesias, Hannibal Buress, Tisha Campbell, and many more. You know, it seems to me that a UFC fighter would kick Hannibal Buress' ass.
Well, you'd have to listen to the episode to find out. The Koi Pond is your weekly dose of good vibes, positivity, and laughs. So check it out, The Koi Pond with Joe Coy. Listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. Fun fact, the ashes of Fred Bauer, the man who designed the Pringles can, are buried in one, which, according to scientists, has the exact same nutritional value as any other can of Pringles.
We now join the French Trump weekly Friday press conference in progress.
As long as
Thank you, Mr. President. Tony Romo again with ABC News. Mr. President, you said in your interview with Jeanine Pirro that Vice President Biden was using performance-enhancing drugs. Mr. President, what performance-enhancing drugs are those, and what evidence do you have to make such a claim?
Well, I mostly just know the street name for them, you know, like the SO Mermans. They are sometimes called SO Mermans, you know, go on with the show. Or I think he might pop some Liza Minnelli's. Sometimes you see how he kicks his leg up a little bit? That could be from the performance-enhancing drugs they call Liza Minnelli's. He looks strung out on the curtains-ups. Maybe he has taken too many sour days after the show. I'm worried he might OD on those little green "I'll be in my dressing room if you want me's." He wears a mask to cover the effects of taking too many first-night jitters. It looks to me like he's taking a drug that on the streets they call understudies. It doesn't always work, but when it does, it's fantastic.
Mr. President, what evidence do you have?
Next question!
And we're back. Paula, we've got an important announcement again about our vocabulary contest.
It's, you know what? People are sending in, they're submitting their answers to the vocabulary contest. You have to listen to episode 109 and find all of the vocabulary words in it. And the winner receives a Zoom call with me and Adam and up to 100 of your friends. Apparently, people are coming so close. They're missing by like one word. So those who care to, go to episode 109 and find all of the vocabulary words. We cannot wait to talk to you and your friends.
We really can't wait. And again, we Well, yeah, look, it's a hard vocabulary contest. It's like a find a word puzzle plus a lot. But a lot of you have gotten almost all of them, and there's one word that a lot of you are missing, though certainly it's not always the same word, but good luck, everybody. Remember, you can only play once, so really make sure you have that before you submit. And I'm sure we're going to have a winner any day now.
Yeah, the word is not endocrine, by the way, so it's not endocrine.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe every week what we should do is let them know one other word that's not on the list. So endocrine will be the word this week that you know if you're listening to Show 109 and going back to try to find the winners of the vocabulary contest, you know that endocrine, even if we say it, and God knows if we do or not, that's not one of the vocabulary words.
You know, I get the sense, Adam, that after 2 years working together, I've almost rubbed off on you.
Yeah, that's something very familiar about the hunt I just proposed. Okay, well, Paula, it's about time we looked into what our listeners are thinking about, because that's what's really important to us around here, right?
Oh, it's very important. But wait, Adam, answer the phone. Answer the phone.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just talking about how we were going to do something. Okay.
Yeah. Well, answer the phone. Could be a listener.
All right. Hello?
Adam, am I the 100th caller?
No, you're caller number 91.
Adam,
is this Winnie Feynman?
It is. I haven't talked to you in so long. Adam, I'm very worried that we're not going to be able to perform my original play, Love Texts, on Zoom. I just don't understand speaker view or gallery view. I just don't get it.
Well, Winnie, I don't want to do love text, as I've told you many times, but speaker view and gallery view are very, very easy to decipher.
What do you mean you don't want to do love texts, Adam? You're contractually obliged. We're contractually obliged to do love texts. That has been sorted out a long time ago. Now I'm troubled by Zoom. Everyone is troubled by Zoom. No one likes Zoom, Adam.
Well, yeah, nobody really loves Zoom because it's just a reminder of how isolated we all are right now.
But Winnie, it's
very easy to use.
I'm very isolated. Adam, I might like to Zoom with you at some point. I'm very isolated.
I don't know. Well, Winnie, if I'm not mistaken, before the pandemic hit, you rarely left the house and rarely saw anyone besides your mother anyway, right?
You know, since I've been in the theater, I have really expanded my, social, I know more people, Adam. I know more people now, but now we're isolated how we are. And my mother wants her crock pot back. And when it's speaker view, Adam, do I click on something? Am I supposed to click on something when it's speaker view?
No, Winnie, especially if you're doing theater, don't do speaker view, do gallery view.
I don't know how to do gallery view. How do you do gallery view?
There's an icon on your screen. It looks like a lot of little boxes, and it changes it from speaker view to gallery view. It should be really easy.
I don't see it. Which corner is it in?
Winnie, look, I don't know because I don't know what kind of computer you have. I do all my zooming on an iPad.
On a what?
So I really can't.
You do it on an iPad? That's disgusting. What?
What?
You do it on a...
No, Winnie, but an iPad.
I don't have an iPad.
The Apple iPad.
I was hoping that maybe if I won the 100th caller contest, I could get an iPad at Roger Federer's. But for now, I'm using a laptop computer, and I don't. Hold on, I'm talking to him now, but we're talking about Zoom, not your crock pot.
Now, Winnie, tell your mother I don't have her crock pot. I don't even know where this idea came from. I do not have it.
He says you're a crock pot yourself.
I didn't say that.
She is steamed now. All right, I gotta go. I'm gonna have to go. She's in a rage.
Okay. Well, good luck, Winnie. Thanks for calling.
I'm putting you on speaker view.
Wait, what?
I'm putting you on...
I thought you were hanging up.
I am.
I'm not on Zoom right now, Winnie. You can't put me on speaker view.
All right, I have to go. We'll work on this later. Am I the 100th caller?
No, we won't.
Am I the
No, you're caller number 91.
Oh, I'm so close. All right.
Well...
It was good talking with you.
Good talking to you too, Winnie. Bye.
Bye, Adam.
All right.
I feel so bad for her because that Zoom thing can be so goddamn frustrating. I really feel bad for her. And why don't you give her mother back her crock pot, for heaven's sakes?
Because I never received a crock pot, Paula. I don't know. And that makes sense because, thank the Lord, Winnie doesn't know my address.
Oh, she does. All right. So I thought what were you talking about? Mailbag?
Yeah, mailbag. Mailbag. All right, so everybody, we're going to bring Tony and Anita Hull up to the mic, and it's time for Mailbag. Mailbag. All right. Mailbag. Tony and Anita Hull, step on up to the microphone. How you doing today, Tony?
I'm doing so well.
Fantastic.
Well. Tony, fun show.
Tony, was that being shot out of a cannon thing intriguing to you as well? Because I know you want to go on a cruise. Same thing, really.
Well, I think a cruise is not quite as safe, but yes.
Yeah.
I would never be shot out of a cannon.
Really?
Ever.
And yet...
You couldn't pay me enough.
And yet you want to go on a cruise during COVID. Huh. Yeah. It's inconsistent, Tony.
If you take a COVID cruise, it's a big discount these days.
Yeah.
It's very cheap.
And
very cheap.
And you also can't dock afterwards. All right. Yeah. So Tony, we got some mail.
We do. The first one's from a nobody named Jonathan in Durham, New Hampshire. I enjoy Tony's stories and love her involvement in the show. Her laugh always makes me smile because it's so genuine. Instead of Captain Crinkle getting her own podcast, maybe we should run a pilot of the Tony and Anita Hall podcast. With love, wishing you all health and safety. Nobody, Jonathan.
Well, that is
Durham, New Hampshire.
That's a beautiful story.
Nice.
Maybe, Tony, you could docudrama your cruise.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like how nurses were sometimes telling their own story through Instagram during the New York pandemic response when the hospitals were so full and they would stay in hotels. And, you could do that on the cruise, and that could be, or you could podcast right from the cruise, and you could talk about how many people keeled over at the buffet.
I don't know if I'm going on the cruise.
No! What?
What do you mean?
It's probably going to get canceled.
Yeah?
You think?
Huh. Wow. This is the first time I've heard you express doubts, Tony.
I love the fact that, Tony, that you decided that of all the emails that we receive, and we receive so many, you decided that this one was the one that we really needed to discuss. So
I thought it was.
Yeah.
So do you have an idea for a podcast?
No, I don't. But no one ever says nice things about me.
That's not true.
So this is nice.
Tony Anita Hull, that is not true. I love Tony Anita Hull. I have been against this cruise idea since the very start, and I don't know what brother it is that's trying to get you to go on a cruise, but it's the one who wants your inheritance, I can tell you that.
He is on my life insurance policy.
Exactly.
That's right.
I knew it.
And Tony is heir to the Hull family fortune, so there's all these reasons why that might happen.
Yeah, Tony's family makes their money from boats. They get paid.
Hey, I hate to interrupt. Miss Poundstone?
Yeah, is this
Mrs. Poundstone? I hate to interrupt.
Who is this?
It's me, Detective Delano from the LA Police Department.
Oh, yes. How could
I hate to interrupt in the middle,
yes.
especially in the middle of a viewer mail segment. It's just terrible manners, and I hate to interrupt. I'll probably just show myself out.
Well, no. What do you want?
Oh, nothing. As you know, I'm investigating everything connected with your intern Doug, who sadly passed away in a brutal murder a few months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a terrible, shocking thing, and we've been trying to unravel it ever since.
Yeah, and you know, you've done a great job so far, and, you know, I'm doing my little part with the boys down in the station. I just had to ask you, Ms. Poundstone, about this, Tony Anita Hull.
Yeah. It's, you know,
who was just talking.
One clue is that she uses 3 names like that. That's always...
Yeah, which, as we know, has always been a hallmark of murderers all over the country.
Exactly.
James Earl Ray.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Donald
John Wayne Gacy.
Donald J. Trump.
Yeah. Donald J. Trump. Well, I don't want to get political. You know, the missus hates it when I get political. But I just wanted to ask. I heard it mentioned a couple of times that Tony Anita Hull had some problems with the way your intern Doug was conducting himself. Would you say that's true?
She doesn't normally get angry, but I remember a time where she was just seething at Doug.
Right.
For I forget what mistake he made.
Yeah, well, everybody makes mistakes, obviously.
It was a little mistake, as I recall. I think he accidentally pulled the plug while we were recording.
Oh, he pulled the plug out.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh,
yeah. So
well,
we did
if I was responsible for the day-to-day production of a show, that would enrage me.
Yeah. Well, I think that she was enraged over that, and I love Tony Anita Hull, and far be it from me to throw her under the bus. But, I have Zoomed with her before, and she does use a fake background. I don't know if that's a clue.
a fake background on Zoom. You know what? That's on one of those personal computers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The missus always tells me I need to get one of those, but I'm all thumbs all the time, and who can afford the gas money alone? But, boy, Tony Anita Hull being angry. How close to Doug's murder was this incident with the Zoom?
I think it was
and the plug.
The Zoom and the plug. I think it was maybe the day before. I think
the day before. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
The day before, Tony is enraged at Doug, and then Doug is tragically murdered in his apartment.
Yeah, and I remember I had just given her a copy of Adam Felber's book, maybe 2 days before. Just something.
A copy of the book that was found next to Doug's body with a corresponding book-shaped dent in Doug's head.
Yes, that's the one. That could have just been a coincidence.
All right, it's probably nothing.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like anything. I'd better go.
All right, you're going to see yourself out?
Yeah, I'll just let myself out. Oh, and Miss Poundstone, one more thing.
Yes.
Thanks. Goodbye. Wow. Well,
Boy, Tony, I really covered for you.
Paula, if you don't mind me saying so, it didn't really sound like you covered for Tony. You kind of...
Not at all.
I'm appalled at what she's doing.
Yeah, you kind of threw Tony under the bus with Detective Delano.
Yeah, well, honestly, Adam, I was doing it because, in truth, Tony Anita Hull wouldn't hurt a fly, and I was protecting you, who surely the finger of fate's going to eventually point towards here. The long arm of justice.
Why would the finger of fate talk to alone among the people on this show? I have seemingly no motive or access to Doug the intern. I resent that, Paula.
Yeah. Well, I was just trying to protect you because I know eventually the long arm of the law gonna swing over in your direction. The weather vane of pain is gonna point towards you.
You say so.
Yeah.
Well, Tony, while you're still a free woman, is there anything else in the mailbag?
Yep, we heard from Gail G. And this one is for you, Bonnie and Adam. Shabbat Shalom means good Sabbath. It is an expression of goodwill on the Sabbath. For Jews, it happens to be Friday night through Saturday. But you could say it to Christians on their Sabbath as well. It does not mean Good Saturday.
Who thought? Thank you, Gail G. Who thought it meant Good Saturday?
When we first talked about Shabbat Shalom, I somewhat waggishly remarked that it meant Happy Saturday, because or hello or Peaceful Saturday, because Shalom means hello, goodbye, and peace in Hebrew, and Shabbat is actually a day of the week, Saturday, as well as being the Jewish Sabbath.
Well, apparently Gail G disagrees with you. Remember that?
I don't know that she
Do you remember
does.
that Beatles song, Shalom, 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 Shalom? I don't know why you say shalom, I say shalom. Remember that?
Yeah, that song doesn't really work in Hebrew, does it?
Wait a minute.
What?
I thought it was hello, goodbye. Oh, I get it. Okay, never mind.
Oh my God! Do you know? I hope that none of our nobodies. I hope that none of our listeners are con artists. But if there are, they just perked up. They're just like, oh my God! It's not Bonnie Captain Crinkle Burns. It's Bonnie Mark Burns. Oh my God! Bonnie, how long was your interview in the Beatles documentary?
I have to say, I really made myself laugh there.
Yeah, I don't think
My face hurts.
I don't think Project Runway could possibly outdo that. Oh my God. Bonnie was just voted out of the Beatles fan club.
My God.
Oh my God. You know what? I want that. Like Peter Sagal one time made a turkey sound on Wait, Don't Tell Me. And I loved it so much. They put it on...
I remember.
They put it on a loop for me. There's a little button that I can push that plays the recording of Peter doing the turkey sound. It's great. It's very sweet of them.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
I would like to have the same kind of button with the loop of Bonnie going, wait a minute, I thought it was hello, goodbye. Oh my God. Bonnie, I just have a question for Bonnie. How much did you pay for your swampland in Florida?
Now you've been very impressed with my astuteness through the years.
When was that?
How many times?
Not when you're outside of Boston.
How many times have you said, "Now that's really smart"?
Boy, let me just say, I don't know.
Wow, Bonnie, you're setting yourself up for this.
I don't know, but
I know, but I know what the truth is.
If I were to guess, I'd say single digits.
Nah.
So given your 25-year history with Bonnie, that's like once every 2 years?
Yeah.
We've had a lot of good moves together.
Oh yeah, no question. Well, I thought it was
I know.
I thought it was hello, goodbye.
It was
Bonnie, do you remember the Beatles song about the puppy, Let It Wee?
Wait a minute, Paula. I'm pretty sure that's not what the title was in actuality.
Yeah, let it.
I thought it was Let It Be, and you said we. Oh.
Yeah, no, it was Let It Wee.
I get
it. It was.
Yeah.
Apparently, John Lennon used to get very annoyed over people reading into his lyrics. And so, he was especially upset when people didn't understand Let It Wee.
Yeah. Hey, Bonnie, do you remember the Beatles' anti-sex anthem, Hey Prude?
Yeah. Or that really weird amphibian song, Why Don't We Do It on the Toad?
Yeah.
All
Why
right.
don't we
Good
do
times.
it on the Toad? Which song is she? What song is that a takeoff on?
What was the what? What song was that a takeoff on? It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. They had a song, Why Don't We Do It on the Toad?
No, really, which one was it?
No, I just told you. It wasn't. It was, Why Don't We Do It on the Toad?
No one will be hopping away. Why don't we do it in the Toad? All right. That's great. Hey, Tony, have we reached the bottom of our mailbag yet, or have we distracted you for long enough?
That was it.
We had two mail. We had two pieces of mail.
I can do another.
It's no wonder the post office
Okay.
isn't delivering. There's not enough.
No, we're getting plenty. Tony, if your hand isn't shaking too much from the accusations of Detective Delano, you're happy. We'd be happy to have you read us one more.
Okay,
One more from what, Adam? One more from what?
One more entry in the mailbag. Mailbag.
Wow, what is that noise? Do you hear it?
What noise?
Well, then well, then I think you don't hear it.
Yeah. You know what?
Do you mean the glockenspiel that Paula's been playing for the last year, Bonnie?
No, would you shut up?
Wow.
Boy, that is on its way to the Hall of Fame of clever rejoinders. Would you shut up?
Absolutely Alan Hale worthy.
Little buddy. Oh my gosh. All right, where are we? I don't know where we are.
Bring Mrs. Culpepper back.
No, let's have Tony has one more piece of mail for
All
us.
right.
I have another piece of mail.
Okay.
Yay!
It's from Sarah P. I'm so concerned for Adam. Allowing Winnie Feynman to get through the phone lines is creating a hostile work environment. Adam, please contact your HR department and get your lawyer on
What is that noise?
Your lawyer on.
What is going on?
I can't.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say, Bonnie, did you forget to turn your ringer off?
Did you just hear something?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
This is like that god awful late night commercial when the adult son is working with his father and he says, "I love you, Dad," and the dad goes, "What? What?" And finally the son goes, "Nothing."
Yeah, Bonnie, we all heard kind of a ringing in our ears, as though somebody's landline was ringing.
Well, then maybe it was me.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Really? You know, I think, Bonnie, do you want to get that call? It's probably a neighbor calling to ask you to blow your nose more quietly.
I never blew my nose.
That's a vile calumny, Paula.
It's a vile calumny. It is a vile. She's blown her nose over and over again during this episode.
It's quotidian.
Now Mike's going to call. We're never going to find our way out.
Adam, answer the phone. Adam, answer the phone.
No. Oh,
Adam,
I know
answer
what
the
this is gonna
phone.
be. Hello, you're on Welcome to Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone. You're the 90-second caller. Hello.
Hey, Adam, it's just me, Mike Boom Boom Bonifant. Man, I'm so
I know she said quotidian. I know, Mike.
Oh man, I fucking love Captain Crinkle. You guys are the best. Thanks for the quotidian, man. I gotta go. Oh my god.
Thank you for calling, Mike.
Quotidian.
Well, at least that brings us one call closer to the end of this fucking contest. But
I'm not sure that's the right attitude, Adam. Hold it, I have to cough again. Hold it. Oh, sorry. Oh my God.
all right.
My cough has been much better, but there's been so many Bonnieisms tonight that
So many.
it's causing. It's all causing fluid in my lungs. Let me just say that.
I'm so tired.
All right.
Oh my gosh. You know, it may be that Doug offed himself just to get some peace and quiet.
I on nights like this, I think about following him.
Yeah, he was working awfully closely with Captain Crinkle, and he probably was just like,
That's true.
She was calling him at like 3 a.m. to ask him about whether he had a crush on the guy from Wagon Train.
Somebody ought to check on our editor, Michael Hoagie, at this point.
Oh, God.
All right.
Well,
It's done.
all right, the mailbag.
Okay.
Is that it? You're cutting us off?
We're done.
No more.
I'm cutting Mailbag off.
That's it for Mailbag.
All right. Okay. Have it your
We're
way.
done. We're done with Mailbag.
Oh, wait. Oh, Jesus, wait. The dogs just came in. Hold on. The pod puppy has my glockenspiel in his mouth. There it is.
Mailbag. Okay.
No! You did it backwards.
No. Yeah, and then never. Let's try it one more time. That's it for Mailbag.
Wait.
Mailbag. Oh, good God.
No. Because, you know what? If I do it one more time, Bonnie's going to go, did anybody hear a noise?
All right, everybody. We'll be back with more Trainwreck after this. Welcome back. Paula Poundstone, do you have anything else going on that we should know about?
Oh, I do, Adam. A lot of people have asked if I'm making a game show, and I am. I just started making a game show called Nobody Asked You, starring Paula Poundstone. It's a comedy lemonade stand on an oppressively hot year. You can find it on YouTube or Facebook. And also, a lot of people have asked if I'm still making cameo videos, and I am. Go to cameo.com/PaulaP33. That's cameo.com/PaulaP33 and order a video postcard from me to whoever you want. I can tell your friend who moved away how much you miss them, or I can tell your friend who lives nearby how much you wish they'd move. Also, by the way, a lot of cats have asked me if they can still get Poundstone pussy pillows, the 4.5-inch by 5-inch pillows stuffed with catnip, personally autographed to your cat, which you can get through my website, paulapoundstone.com. And the answer is yes, of course you can. By the way, Adam.
Yes?
No one asked me. I just made that part up. But the rest is true.
I believe you, Paula. And I just want to remind our listeners that if you're looking for something to do on a Sunday night, why not tune in to ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, turn down your sound, and listen to me and comedian Jeff Cesario offer alternative comedic commentary on the Starburns Sports simulcast. Yep, you can hear me and Jeff and special guests who last week included Peter Sagal and Jimmy Pardo. You can hear us call the game, and you can get all that at StarburnSports.com. That's StarburnSports.com.
That sounds like fun.
It is really fun. We just need you to get ESPN, Paula.
I don't have cable. Right now I just have a film strip. I watch a film strip late at night.
All right, we want to hear from all you nobodies out there. If you want to enter our theme song contest, send us a sync show description or just drop us a line. The address is nobodylistenstopaulapoundstone@gmail.com. I'm going to say it again so you can pull over to a screeching halt and write it down. nobodylistenstopaulapoundstone@gmail.com.
You can find me and Adam on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're all over the place. And check out our Facebook page at Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone.
That's our show. Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone is hosted by Paula Poundstone and yours truly, Adam the Felber. Special thanks to our guest, Jon Weiss, and thanks to house band Dustin Moburg from Caledonia, Minnesota. Our show is produced by Paula Poundstone, Adam Felber, Bonnie Burns, Ken Lazebnik, and the suddenly under suspicion Tony Anita Hull. Mixing by Michael Hoagie, Starburns production by Land Romo, and thanks to our former intern, Doug. You're not forgotten. Transcription services for the show provided by Transcribe Me, a premier internationally used transcription service. Use code Paula Poundstone when placing your order at transcribeme.com to receive an expedited service.
That's our show for tonight. Won't somebody please listen to me?
Wow, Paula, do you think Tony could have done it?
No. She's the nicest person in the world.
Isn't it always the nicest person in the world?
Sometimes it is. Jeffrey Dahmer seems sweet. No. She's
No?
no.
No.
She's a
No, absolutely not.
She has been going to those Trumpland places on the week. No, that's ridiculous.
No. Yeah. And cruises do take you safely into international waters, but
that's absurd.
No, that's ridiculous.
No, I can't. You know what? I won't even entertain the thought. No.
No.
No, not our. She does have those fake back. No, that's.
No, of course not.
Now you're just being absurd.
Starbane's Audio, a podcast network.